Okay, in this particular experiment, we're looking at the factors that determine the boiling temperature of not only water alone, but water with certain dispersions. All right, so here is our protocol. And again, I'm not going to have you watch me boil, literally boil water. That's pretty boring, but I'm going to tell you what I did and show you what I used. So what I did was measure 450 milliliters of water into this small saucepan here, and I have an electric range. So again, this is a small saucepan, and I did it on electric range over medium to medium high heat because my stove heats up pretty quickly. So again, 450 milliliters of water, and into the water, and I did this um, 5 different times. So I did this 5 individual times. I don't have 5 tiny saucepans, so I had to do it 5 times. So into the 450 mils of water, I added 15 grams of each of the assigned ingredient, and I did weigh them out on my scale. So in one batch, I did 15 grams of sugar. In one batch, I did 15 grams of kosher salt. In another batch, I did 15 grams of white cornmeal. And in the last batch, I did 15 grams of hydrated gelatin, as you can see here. So I brought the water and the ingredient, so which is a dispersion, to a full boil on top of the stove, and it was about at medium-high heat at best because it came up to boil pretty quickly. So I recorded the temperature at 30-second intervals, and this is the thermometer that I used. So I basically left my handy dandy thermometer sitting in the solution, and at 30-second intervals I just recorded the temperature over and over again. So I'll show you my sheet in a minute. Okay, so I recorded the temps in Fahrenheit, and what I want you to do is calculate the temps in Celsius, and then I want you to plot the data. So I want you to graph the data in an Excel spreadsheet. So let me show you my sheet here. Okay. So this is the time and temperature it took each of the dispersions to boil. So I again measured everything in Fahrenheit, and then I gave you the formula to do it in Celsius. So I want you to do the cool down in Celsius as well. All right. And then I have some instructions for you. So calculate the degrees in Celsius for all the conditions using the formula bar. And then I want you to graph for both the time to boil and then the time and temperature to cool down. So time on the x-axis and temperature on the y-axis. And each condition should be a separate line. So you should be using the line graph. So this will be some of your graphing skills. So again, as you can see, the time it took for the solutions to cool down, I'm limiting you to here to 1,560 seconds. Just a few notes is that my house is slightly cooler than room temperature. So my house, when I looked at the thermostat when I was doing this experiment, was 69 degrees. My ceiling fans were going, so slightly cooler than room temperature, which is normal 72 degrees. All right, so everything is there for you to complete, and to complete this data analysis. And then we also have the critical thinking questions for your lab report. So answering these questions will help you to analyze the data as well. But if you have any questions, please post them to the general questions forum so I can answer them for everybody. So I hope you have a good time with this, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.